Hello there guys, Artell here for Forever Football DRFC, your Doncaster Rovers fan channel. It's preview day, Crewe Alexandra at Alexandra Park. It's going to be a good fixture. They didn't have a good result against Lincoln 3-0 away in the weekend, but I think they'll try and bounce back from this. We have to stop them from bouncing back. So before we get started guys, please like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss another YouTube video. Obviously go and check out the first video today, the daily reports, looking at the press conference reaction. You know that Okunabiri is fit and ready for this game. Taylor is still injured. Obviously John Jules, the other long-term injury. He'll be back hopefully in a few weeks, I'm praying anyway. And it's going to be a very interesting situation. Of course, got some good games coming up for the rest of this season. We're going to have to be on our toes and ready for the games ahead. So let's get straight into it and preview Crewe Alexandra. Of course, the manager Artell has produced a really good season for Crewe Alexandra. I look at them as potential playoff contenders if Portsmouth keep dropping points, if Accrington or Ipswich goes on a bad run, if Plymouth or Blackpool don't push on for the playoffs as well. If they go on a bad run, obviously Blackpool drew with Wimbledon and they drew with Crewe the game before. Plymouth lost 2 on the bounce now, including us as well as Northampton, who battered Portsmouth 4-1. Well done to Northampton and their manager. Obviously, they sacked Keith Curle and they've gone on a good run since then. So, you know, the bounce has worked for Northampton so far with their caretaker manager, John Brady, I think his name is. Speaking of Keith Curle, looks like he's going into Oldham Athletics. So it looks like he's Oldham's new manager. So we'll see what happens with there in League 2. But Crewe Alexandra for me has been one of the surprise packages of the season, along with the likes of Accrington and in a way Blackpool and Plymouth, and I guess MK Dons to an extent as well. I think there's been a few surprise packages in League 1 this season. I think Crewe Alexandra is one of them. They were promoted from League 2 last season. They're in League 1. In my opinion, they're in no danger of slipping down the table at all. If they're going to go on a bad run of form, they're not going to slip down the table. You know, I do see Crewe at least, don't get angry Crewe fans, at least staying in League 1. At least. They could get playoffs to get into the Championship, but at least they'll be in League 1 next season, if not. And they've got a wonderful squad together. They put our team to the sword. And this, don't forget, Crewe Alexandra is coming up against Andy Butler's Doncaster Rovers. They're not coming up against Darren Moore's Doncaster Rovers, where, you know, I didn't want to say it on camera, but I've had a few consistent negativities with Darren Moore's play, and I think other fans have picked this up as well. We have no plan B, we were side to side, and we didn't challenge. We didn't have any urgency. Yes, in the first game against Crewe Alexandra, the referee was underperforming, shall we say at best. But in my personal opinion, I feel as if we can do something against Crewe Alexandra in this game, and you'll know by my scoreline predictions later on. But let's go on then with my team prediction before we go into my scoreline prediction. So let's go through it. So you can see one major change on the bench already, if you can look very, very closely. But the starting lineup remains the same for me. Lewis Jones in goal. Why did I say Louis? It's Lewis. Louis Walsh, you look like a pop star. You sound like a pop star. What the heck? I'm putting you through. Lewis Jones in goal. Brilliant. Academy prospect, homegrown talent, 22 years old, 22, 23, I'm not too sure. He's been wonderful the past couple of games. Yes, he conceded one against Portsmouth at the end. Yes, he conceded the Plymouth goal, but he couldn't do really much about those goals, to be honest. Apart from that, he has been justified of that #1 shirt. Yes, Ellery Balcombe's put in wonderful performances like the 1-0 win against Lincoln under Darren Moore and other performances as well. But I think Balcombe being dropped when Butler came in as manager, I kind of saw it coming, because I didn't expect Jones to start. I expected him to gradually get his chance eventually, but I didn't expect Jones to 100% start straight away as soon as Butler comes into his first game. But I think I saw it coming, because Balcombe had been letting in, not his fault by the way, not entirely his fault for letting in some of the goals. There was a couple of rookie mistakes in there from Balcombe, but you know, he's not letting all the goals he's conceded over the last few weeks under Darren Moore, the last few weeks under Darren Moore's management. But he has been involved in a couple of mistakes, and I think Lewis Jones has come in now and it's his shirt to lose. We've said that for a week or so now. It's his shirt to lose, and I think that Jones could put in a good performance again like he did against Plymouth. See, in my opinion, Lewis Jones was a contender for man of the match. He absolutely was. I gave it to Joe Wright for his defensive performances. It could have gone to Anderson, it could have gone to Bogle, it could have gone to Bostock if he stayed on for the second half as well, and Lewis Jones a contender as well. So that's where I stand on Lewis Jones. It's his shirt to lose, but at the minute we'll let him do his thing because he's been brilliant. Back four, Brad Halliday right, Anderson the captain with Joe Wright, and then Reece James on the left back position. Unchanged back four, no problems with that. Reece James, it wasn't his best performance against Plymouth, but he did put in a decent shift overall, so I've got no problems with the back four apart from that. I think Reece James will have a better game than Plymouth, but I think he's had better. He's been one of our most consistent performers this season, so I expect Reece James to have a good performance anyway. It's just compared to other performances, the Plymouth one was quite underperforming, but with Reece James, I see him being arguably our player of the season on a consistent basis, and you could see what Reece James brings in terms of quality. He's a former Man United youth player, he's played for Sunderland, he's played for, Wigan, he's played for good teams that have been in hard positions, and he's a Man United youth. He's a Man United youth, so I see him being the #1 star. So I think that he's a great player to have in this squad. Brad Halliday, again, no surprises there. Great right back, arguably one of the best right backs in this league. Anderson and Wright, absolute brick walls in the back line. Andy Butler's taught them well. As soon as Butler comes in, look at our defensive line. We can defend set pieces, we can defend every kind of shot, we can defend them, we can block them out, we can clear them. Our defending has been better in the last 2 games than it has under the last 2, 3, 4 weeks of Darren Moore's management. 110%. Going into the midfield, Matt Smith and John Bostock, I see both of them guys starting. They grinded the gears of Plymouth in that first half, them together. Scott Robertson had some more assurance when Bostock came off for a precaution on that yellow card. Robertson came in the second half, put in a decent shift and held his own with Matt Smith next to him. And then Reece James for the end of the game, of course, slipping in when Cameron John came on at left back. But overall, I think Smith and Bostock is the midfield to beat. On the attack, on the right wing, James Coppinger, no surprises there. If he's fit, he's starting. That is what Andy Butler's pretty much said today. If he's fit, he will start. Josh Sims on the opposite wing, great attacking threat. He can put in all these great performances and that will not change as far as I can see. Taylor Richards at cam, he may not stay next season, but I think Taylor Richards has been arguably one of our best performers this season again. So I think once again, there's no qualms about him not starting. He's put in a good physical performance. And then up front, Omar Bogle. He's got his goal against Plymouth and now he's going to start firing, hopefully. And then on the bench, this is where the bench comes into play. Balcom, John, Robertson, Greaves, Horton, Okunabiri back in the team, and Lakilo. So no Major Gomez on the bench. That is my prediction. And the reason why I predicted that is because I just don't think Major Gomez has a place on the bench anymore. I think that when he came on, I think that he did wonderful in Richard's position. He was playing at the cow, I think. So, he did well pressing all over the pitch. He did well coming on with that work rate. Hopefully he continues that and just keeps training that up. And hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe he does get a chance to play in this game against Crewe tomorrow. Maybe Greaves drops out of the bench and Gomez comes in. But in my personal opinion, I just predict Greaves to be on the bench instead of Gomez. Maybe Horton drops out the bench. I don't know. So that is the predicted team. Now, excuse me, the predicted scoreline to end the video. Now, like I said, this is going to be a tough one because Crewe, they haven't been on a good run of form in the last couple of games, last few games. And they've been a bit inconsistent, but their home form has been great. So it's going to be hard at Alexandra Park, but I see us getting the revenge on Crewe Alexandra like we did with the revenge over Plymouth and like we got the double over Portsmouth. I'm going with a 2-0 win against Crewe. I think we're going to have a 2-0 win. Bogle could be getting on the score sheet. I think Coppinger, Bogle, Okunabiri if he comes on, Richards and Bostock are my 5 picks to be part of the goals. So any one of those 5 could be involved in the 2 goals that I'm predicting. So that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, thank you very, very much, guys, for watching this match preview. I think it's a 2-0 win to Rovers. Comment down below what do you think is going to happen tomorrow night. But for now, guys, my name is Aaron Chandler from Forever Football, DRFC. Keep living the Rovers life. And that, my friends, is full time. Rovers till I die. let's get revenge over at Crewe Alexandra, and hopefully there's a better ref this time.
Rovers will